I know I've done a lot of videos about cassette tapes and vinyl records, but the music format that I have more of than anything else, even including MP3 and iTunes downloads, is the compact disc. When I really started to assemble a large music collection, they were an obvious choice because used CDs are very affordable, they're very easy to find, you have a vast selection to choose from, and they have exceptionally good quality, at least when they're done right. And unfortunately, sometimes they're not. And in this case, I'm not talking about things like bad mastering due to the loudness war, or greatest hits compilations that have remixes on them instead of the original versions that were played on the radio and MTV when they were hits. In this video, I'm talking about mistakes, whether they were due to carelessness or incompetence or lack of quality control, somebody somewhere along the line just not paying attention to the product they were producing. Let's start off with this one. It's one of those sound-alike albums recorded by a studio band instead of the original artist, but that's not the problem here. Today's hot movie hits. It starts off with I Will Always Love You from The Bodyguard, then Beauty and the Beast, Unchained Melody, A Whole New World. Let's put it in our player here and see what it sounds like. Has 12 tracks, and it says 12 tracks. But that doesn't sound like the theme from The Bodyguard. And that sure doesn't sound like Beauty and the Beast. And that's not Unchained Melody. It's a completely different album on the CD than what the label says and what the card says and what the back cover says. They put the wrong CD on the CD. It's the first time I've ever seen something like this happen in collecting over 1,000 CDs. They put the completely wrong disc on the CD. I'm interested to see what's actually on this CD, so I'm going to put it in iTunes here, see what it comes up as. Here it is, Big Band Hits of the 30s and 40s by Enoch Light and the Light Brigade. So that's what's actually on this CD instead of today's hot movie hits from the early 90s. Quite a difference. I have two CDs here. The first is Classical Music for People Who Hate Classical Music. Starts out with Saber Dance, then Finale from Light Cavalry Overture, the Toreadors from Carmen. Then next we have more classical music for people who hate classical music. It's a maxi play trademarked disc with over 63 minutes of music, which doesn't seem like something to brag about because CDs have always been able to hold at least 74 minutes of music. Let's look at the track list on this one. More classical music for people who hate classical music. Starts out with Saber Dance, excerpt from Light Cavalry Overture, the Toreadors from Carmen. Didn't we just see that on the other disc? Yep. It's the same exact track list on Classical for people who hate classical and More Classical for people who hate classical. This must actually be more classical music for people who didn't even listen to the first disc. One of the biggest mistakes I've seen is on a CD called Billboard #1 Hits of the 80s, compiled by Joel Whitburn, who is literally the guy who wrote the book of Billboard Top 40 Hits. So you'd think he would get it right. Track 4 on that CD is supposed to be Baby Come to Me by Patti Austin and James Ingram, which was a #1 hit in 1983. But the track that's actually on the CD is Baby Come to Me by Regina Belle, a completely unrelated 1989 R&B hit. Baby, come to me. Not the same song. I even wrote the correction in Discogs. This was me adding this to Discogs here, where I explained the mistake. And this may not come across well on camera, especially if you're watching on a smartphone, but the artwork on this CD is so low quality that it looks like a bootleg. Even though it's an official CBS disc. This is a completely legitimate disc by CBS. But the artwork on it is so blurry. I mean, even look at the compact disc logo, how blurry. It looks like they scanned it in and then printed it out. And you notice here, all this is blurry. Even the barcode is blurry. But here, where it says manufactured by Columbia House, that's perfectly clear. So what I think happened is that when Columbia House released this CD, they didn't get a copy of the original artwork, so they had to scan in a CD of it that they had and just copy it and put their disclaimer on it. So that's why all this artwork is so blurry, except for the Columbia House disclaimer at the bottom here. I mean, it sounds perfectly fine. I don't have the original non-Columbia House copy to compare it to, but at least just on its own it sounds okay. But the artwork is just total blurriness. If you look closely, you can even see the line where they pasted over the original artwork with the Columbia House disclaimer. If you've collected CDs from the mid-1990s to the early 2000s, you may have seen this logo, HDCD, which stands for High Definition Compatible Digital. It was a method of encoding which claimed to increase the resolution of CD audio from 16 bits to 20 bits, while still being backwards compatible with regular CD players. Although in reality, the actual audible difference was negligible. So eventually they pretty much gave up on the idea. But for a while, in the 90s and early 2000s, it was quite common to see HD CD, especially on country music CDs. For example, Martina McBride's Greatest Hits from 2001. There you can see the HD CD logo on the back of it. And here's something a little unusual to see on a CD from 2001, also available on cassette. And again, on the disc itself is very tiny, but there is the HD CD logo. I'll put it in this cheap little Sylvania CD player, which does support HD CD, even though it's not advertised anywhere. There's the Martina McBride CD playing, and right at the top of the screen you can see HD CD. And if I go to the next track, still HD CD on all of the tracks on this CD. But on this Lone Star album from 2001, it also had the HD CD logo on it. But you notice I crossed it out because this doesn't actually have HD CD encoding on any of the tracks. Maybe you can see through that magic marker better if I turn on Night Shot. Oh yeah, you can see right through that. So that's your lesson. If you're trying to cover up something with black magic marker so people can't read it, better make sure they don't have a Night Shot camera. And there you can see on the disc itself, it also has the HD CD logo, but I put black marker over it because no HD CD is on this disc, even though it has the logo on the disc itself and on the album cover. Here's that Lone Star CD playing, which swore up and down, back and front, that it's HD CD encoded, but no logo on any of the tracks. I'll go through all 12 tracks just to be sure, and you'll see no indication of HD CD on any of them. So that's false advertising, or maybe just a dumb mistake. It advertises HD CD, but it's not actually on the disc anywhere. This one, I don't know if this is a mistake or just an interesting choice of aspect ratio. This is the 1997 album Future Signs by the group Warm Jets. And this has HD CD encoding on it, but it gave no indication of it anywhere. So I added my own sticker indicating that. And everyone knows that the spine labels on CDs are supposed to be oriented like this, with the front of the disc on top, and you read it like that, and everything's perfectly consistent until you get that one strange disc where they decided to put it upside down for some reason. And that's not because I have the back cover inserted upside down. That is the right way around. They just, for some reason, chose to put the title upside down. Same thing with these General Cinema Theaters discs. These have the music they played in the lobby and during the intermission between movies. So we have Volume 5, Volume 6, everything nice and consistent until we get to Volume 8. I don't have Volume 7, but Volume 8, upside down. Volume 9, upside down. Volume 10, upside down. Volume 11, upside down. until we get to volume 12, and then they put it the right side up again. But for some reason, they switched from spelling out the numbers to just writing it as numerals. So come on, guys, keep it consistent. And sometimes the use of CD text can let slip out information that they probably didn't intend for the general public to see. Here's a set of 2 CDs, Quiet Moments. Take time, you deserve it. Soothing collection of instrumental music to relax your senses and nourish your soul. And this has CD text on it that I think was left there by the mastering engineer who made these discs. And he probably didn't intend for that information to be seen by the general public. Here's the Quiet Moments CD. And you can see it shows mastering after the name of all the tracks. And they also didn't put the title of the disc in. It says Untitled Disc 1. So clearly this was not meant to be the finished text to go on the CD. But I guess this is just whatever the files were named. And they didn't bother to change it before it went to manufacturing. As heard on PBS and QVC, is Quiet Escape, soothing music for relaxation by the Piano Brothers. And here they are, the Piano Brothers, the O'Neill brothers, Tim and Ryan O'Neill, nationally known recording artists from New Prague, Minnesota. They've sold over 2 million copies of their collections of more than 30 albums of relaxing piano music. Here's the Piano Brothers CD. I'll put it in my car radio CD player, which supports CD text. And you can see it only lists Tim O'Neill. Doesn't mention anything about his brother Ryan. So Tim's taking all the credit on this CD by the Piano Brothers. I wonder if Ryan ever saw this and said, "Hey, wait a minute, where's my name?" And this disc takes the prize of the worst CD I've ever owned, because there is no audio in the left channel for the entire disc. I tried playing it on several different CD players and ripping it with several different programs, and it all came out with only audio in the right channel on all of the tracks.
4 o'clock a rock, 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock a rock, 9, 10.
So they really did master the entire CD with no audio in one channel. So that clearly shows the lack of quality control on some of these discs. Here's what we're going to do with this CD.
Such primitive technology. I wonder if the people on this planet will ever discover the superior sound of vinyl.
So those are some of the mistakes I've encountered on CDs, plus a few extras I've featured in previous videos. And if you've encountered anything like this on CDs you've collected, feel free to share it with us in the comments. And again, I don't mean things like, oh, I didn't like the way the CD sounded, or some stupid minor spelling mistake. I mean obvious screw-ups. So let us know, I'd be interested to hear about it.